to you, our listeners and viewers at home. My name is Vuyisile Ndlovu, and welcome to the Trail to Eldorado, a short but informative show created for the benefit of people that are interested in the mining fraternity. Now, I am joined here by Mr. Dende, a chartered secretary who also happens to be a security expert. But for purposes of this program, his portfolio includes forming Entrail Mining, a rock and exploration tools company that also offers consultancy services. And he also ventured into publishing recently the Entrail Mining Journal.
Greetings, Vuyisile. Thank you for having me on your program.
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure.
My background, I would describe it as simple.
Okay.
Is I can easily relate to people. I am a people person. I love meeting new people and learning about their lives and backgrounds. I can almost always find common ground with strangers. And I like making people feel comfortable in my presence. I find this skill is especially helpful when kicking off projects with new clients. Customer satisfaction scores are over 90% at Entrail.
All right.
Of course, they are difficult customers.
Yes.
We always try and handle them in a very special way.
Yeah.
We believe that when you are in business, you must always treat your customers with a lot of respect. Your revenue source is your source of livelihood.
Yes.
So that's a very important factor. That's something which should be respected always.
Right. So essentially, the customer service is key.
Customer service is key. You might have all the best services you might wish for. You might have the best stuff you might need, but if you don't treat your customers well, chances are they will never are coming back to do business with you ever again.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Thank you for your introduction. So thank you for telling us a bit more about yourself. Okay, Doc, in your introduction, you talked a bit about customer service and you linked to how it's important for you guys at Entrail Mining. If you could just also talk a bit more about Entrail Mining, the products and services that you have on offer.
Thank you. At Entrail Mining, I think it will be remiss if we don't mention that we have been in the industry. We were established in August of 2009, and we have been around for quite a number of years. Along the way, we learned a lot.
Okay.
And by that I mean we retail exploration tools, and some of the bits are a bit sensitive, so you really need to know the kind of tool which works at a particular mine.
Okay.
Because the rock formations differs from one mine to another.
All right, yes.
So at the mines we have been for some time, it entailed us to be working with the mine geologists there.
Yes.
And we went to the manufacturers, and in the process they actually tailor-made tools which actually work at a particular mine. You just can't bring a tool from anywhere and make it work.
Yes, definitely. No.
You really have to do some research on it.
Yes.
And once you do that, you'll never go wrong. So the common mistake a lot of people make, they think that there is a lot of money to be made in mining, and they're just quick to grab anything, call a bit, for example, an exploration bit.
Yes.
You really need to do a background check.
Yeah.
So that whatever tool you are retailing to a particular mine, it might resonate, it must be of the right matrix.
Yes.
So that it will work properly and you get good meters from that bit.
Right. Okay, Doc, you've told us that you guys offer exploration and rock tools. Now, if you can just tell us a bit more about other services that you guys offer at Entrail Mining.
Thank you. We've got quite a wide range of services at Entrail Mining.
Yes, sir.
We don't only offer We actually do value addition on certain tools.
Right.
You know, we import some raw materials and we make them into tools which we actually tailor make for particular use at certain mines.
Right.
And also, we have got a hydraulic division. We do press machines, we also manufacture rams, we also do hydraulics. Those are services which we also offer. We also do consultancy services.
All right.
And we have got a vibrant engineering division.
Okay.
With guys who have been in the engineering field for a long time. Some of them stretching to as back as 1974.
Wow.
So
okay.
They are very rich
Right.
in that field.
department. Okay. Right. You briefly mentioned that you do consultancy services. My next question would be on your client base. If you could just tell us a bit more about mines that you've worked with in the past for the benefit of our listeners and viewers at home.
Like I mentioned earlier on, we have been in the field for a long time.
Yes.
We have had the opportunity to work with a lot of mines. There is the Metalon Group.
Okay.
At some point, we had 5 mines.
Yes.
Their flagship mine is Hauman here in Bulawayo.
Yes.
And the other mines, Shamba mine, the Aksuras mine, the Mazoe mine, and Redwood mine.
All right.
I don't know what happened along the way,
Okay,
but
yes.
I hear Shamba mine is now independent from the Metalon Group.
Yes.
And Aksuras mine is also independent from the Metalon Group.
All right.
But we worked with all those mines. Our tools actually did the marketing on our behalf.
All right.
You'd see that we will get referrals from one buyer to the next because it was a huge group.
Okay.
And even the technical people would recommend our tools from one technical manager to the next.
Okay.
You know, at various mines.
Yes.
That's how our portfolio grew. And also, we outside the Metalon Group, we have also had dealings with Harare Quarry. We have also had dealings with SMC Drilling. We have also dealt with Pan-African Corporation. And currently, we also are supplying a quarry in Toko. It's known as Quarry Enterprises.
Yes.
We have been with them for quite a number. We've been with them for quite a number of years.
Right.
And we believe that our products quality has always carried the day for us.
Right. So that is an excellent comment from Doc there. That speaks to how in business the quality of your service, the quality of your products, you do the marketing for you. Now, Mr. Dende, if you could just tell us a bit more about the challenges and problems that you've experienced along the way as a company or even as a businessman in mining, particularly in Zimbabwe.
Kunzima, Vuyisile, my brother.
Yes.
You know, we might want to start with the general economy of our country.
Yes.
You know, the monetary policies haven't been consistent.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't want to dwell too much on that.
Yes.
The effects have been negative on us, and at times you would see that there were going to be monetary changes, and the value of whatever we have supplied to mines will be eroded in an instant. For example, you know, there was a time when we were being owed huge amounts of money.
Yes.
There was a Supreme Court judgment which was made where the courts decided that all amounts owing to some point, I think it was to 2017, thereabouts, they were now equal to one bond to $1.
Okay, yes.
You see, in our case, there was a mine which was owing us an amount of 16,800 USD.
Okay.
I still haven't collected the money.
Up to now, yes.
They want to give me 16,000 Naira TGS.
Yes.
Which I believe were treated unfairly.
Yes.
And at some other mines, there were amounts amounting to 12,000. Another mine, there was an amount of 7,000 USD. You see, the people whom we borrowed these items from, they ended up suing us. And it was a very difficult time for us because we had to deal with litigation. We have to deal with angry manufacturers and some even blacklisted us. So eventually, we ended up with a very bad name. But we explained these things to them, being as honest as we are. We made them understand, and slowly we have tried to repair the damages which were done to us bit by bit. It wasn't easy, but I'm happy to say that we almost out of the woods, but we had to bear the brunt of paying our suppliers, for something we never got a return for. Those are some of the challenges. And also, the coming in of new management, when they come in, they always want to try and bring in new suppliers.
Their own suppliers,
their own people,
ideas,
their own team, yes. I can't fault them for doing that, but eventually, they always trace back to the history of the suppliers. I don't want to be privileged, but because of maybe ignorance, they might realize later that they might have done the wrong things. And they always take back to us. And I'm very proud to say we have always had good relationships going forward. After maybe a brief fallouts, I would say.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dende. We appreciate your testimony, which really rings true for many business people out there. The challenges that they've had over the years in terms of monetary policies, how the value of the money that they were owed slowly eroded because of the system of exchange rates. Right, thank you so much for that. Welcome back to our listeners and viewers at home. I mentioned earlier on in my introduction that Mr. Dende has also recently published a mining journal titled Entrail Mining Journal, or EMJ in short. Now, Namafi Chanes, if you could just tell us a bit more about this mining journal, what exactly it's about, and why it's important for every miner to have a copy of it.
Oh, thank you. We have traveled the wide and breadth of this country, and we have seen the challenges, especially the small-scale miners face in trying to carry out their activities. So I then decided with a team of young and very vibrant guys, so that we could bring to the fore these challenges these small-scale miners could be facing and how we can highlight them so that probably the government, perhaps the NGOs and the relevant bodies can come in and assist these miners. In short, we would describe it as a marketing tool for us, as we will be placing our adverts in that journal, and also we wish to make it a facilitator so that we can then approach relevant bodies like people like EMA, the security agencies of this country, and RBZ,
the ministry
of our mines, the government, the parliamentarians who represent those miners in the mining areas, so that these issues of the miners will be addressed holistically, you see. And we also intend to engage the traditional leadership of the mining areas, so that whatever challenges these small-scale miners might be facing could be addressed. And in the journal, we wish to discuss ways on how to improve safety on mines, to improve security at the mines, to educate the miner on the technical abilities of mining, the use of right and proper tools for whatever they will be doing, and also try and impart financial intelligence on the small-scale miner, so that at the end of the day, the country benefits and the environment must be safeguarded as well. Those are also issues we need to conscientize the small-scale miner, because that resource will always outlive us. We also wish to preserve it for future generations to come.
Yes. Yeah. I'm taking particular note of a point that you made earlier on, speaking particularly about financial literacy and financial intelligence. Well, I'm assuming that the mining journal was made to curb such things as miners getting a score and then converting it into money and then just blowing that money at once. I'm assuming that you'd want to teach them sort of how to invest that money back and improve their mining instead of just blowing it in one go.
Yes, you will see that because of that handicap, you know, we have had our miners being called derogatory terms.
Yes.
Like Amakorokoza, Magweja, and those guys who moves around with machetes.
Oh, Mashushuku.
Yes, Amashuru.
Yes.
We really need to bring sanity into that field.
Yes.
In case you didn't know, you know, in Zimbabwe, the small-scale miner are responsible of producing half of what we produce yearly, and that fact can be ignored. They are contributing a lot to the industry. Yes. They are contributing a lot to the fiscus. So we need this technical expertise from the relevant bodies, so that we try and professionalize their operations.
Yeah.
You mentioned the issue of miners when they get money and spend it recklessly. You know, if they can get themselves organized properly, it can be a going thing, something which can be passed on from one generation to the next.
Yes.
And it has got the potential to create employment. You know, it won't be surprising that this small-scale mining, you will find that they are now employing PR people, yes, accountants, security personnel, you know, and all the downstream industries will benefit.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the process, they might even, you know, start building proper homes for their families. They will build modern communities, and there will be infrastructural development. Things like roads will be developed. There will be clinics, there will be hospitals, there will be schools, even maybe airports. Then our country will be developing from all facets. That's what we intend to do. Okay. And, you know, difficult as it might look, but it's something which is achievable. But it only needs that everybody involved must, you know, put their heads together and make it work. Make it happen for the miner.
Yes.
You know, some of these things are like that because of limited education, because of ignorance.
Yes.
So we need, you know, relevant bodies and agencies to come in and conduct workshops. These workshops will help to educate those people.
Yes.
You know, education is a powerful tool with the potentials, you know,
All right, yeah. So, in summary, I'm assuming that the purpose of this mining journal is to shine a light on some of the issues and goings on that are happening within the mining fraternity, and sort of somehow curb the negative effects, the negative things that are happening within the mining world. Right. Mr. Dende, as a mining professional, if you could just tell us briefly some ways in which mining can be improved in Zimbabwe through technology.
There are a number of ways which can be done to improve mining in Zimbabwe. You know, you could actually be reusing mining waste.
Okay.
You can actually use eco-friendly equipment, rehabilitating mining sites, improving mining sustainability, shutting down illegal mining activities. You know, if you do that, you are plugging leakages, and you know, whatever is produced will find itself, will find it going to legal channels,
yes,
which are beneficial to the economy.
Yes.
Unlike if you've got leakages, like, you know, we hear about, it's a rumor that minerals sometimes are smuggled out of the country.
Yes.
And there are sometimes people who buy illegally
and trade on the black market.
On the black market.
Yes.
Such activities are not beneficial at all to the economy, yes, and they are actually counterproductive.
Yes.
So if those loopholes can be plugged in, we'll see a working and vibrant economy being built around the mineral resources of this country.
Okay, there are a lot of youth out there that are interested in mining, but for some reason are failing to go into it because of various barriers of entry. Now, if you can just give them some words of encouragement, you know, give these people, these youth, or individuals at large, really that are interested in mining, if you just give them some words of encouragement on how they can go about this.
I could attribute that to, you know, some people prevaricate a lot. Some people just lack self-confidence, but there is political will to empower the youth through mining.
Yes.
I've seen positive policies supporting mining here in Zimbabwe, be it agriculture. What one needs to do is to approach the relevant authorities or the mining offices in their areas of interest,
yes,
and they will realize that it is not as difficult as they think, and the resources one might need are not out of this world. If you have got savings, if you can do your surveys, you can buy your equipment and tools. There is, like I mentioned earlier, there is definitely government will and political will for youth to start mining. So I would encourage youth to take advantage of that. There are also mining professionals who are just seated at home with the mentality of waiting to be employed elsewhere. Whilst they are waiting for that, why don't they start mining? Why don't they start putting their skills to use? You know, I would say you should actually get out of your comfort zone.
Definitely, yes.
And when you do that, you will see that things will start to move in the right direction. There is nobody who's going to come and say the time is now right. You know, in conclusion, I might say, I would want to quote the Bob Marley, the great.
Yes.
You know, we really need to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery.
Yes.
You know, if you don't do that, nobody is gonna do that for you. So you just have to be yourself and take advantage of the policies in place. But the banks must also be flexible. if somebody comes up with a workable plan and they mustn't be too demanding on the collateral side.
Yes, yeah. Because this is someone's coming looking for money, they already don't have money. You know, so you can't be asking them for a lot of collateral because they are limited in their resources.
But I'm not a banker myself. But
yes.
You also need to safeguard.
There's some security. Yes.
You need to have that kind of security. But I think that's when the government comes in.
Yes.
Maybe to give insurance to the bankers if the problem, the proposals make sense.
Yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, marks the end of our show for today. Thank you for tuning in, and a special thank you to Mr. Dende for coming through and sharing his insights on mining. Be sure to look out for our next episode, and also like us and follow us on our various social media platforms. On Facebook and Instagram respectively, we are Entrail Investments, and on YouTube we are Entrail Mining Journal. See you next time, folks.